Kento Pinto, why Asians are supposedly cuter. Scientific breakdown.
Now, compared to adults, common features for infants across all ethnic groups include larger heads, flatter faces, reduction of the brow ridge, hairlessness, thinner bones, reduced muscle mass, smaller physical size, shorter arms, shorter legs, just to name a few. And of course, this is largely why people find babies cute. If they didn't have these features and proportions, they'd more so resemble miniature adults. And that's kind of creepy. Normally, as you transition from a big-headed, short-limbed baby to a longer-legged juvenile to a teenager, and finally to a fully developed adult, you would expect to lose most, if not all, of these traits. However, this isn't always the case. How many cute baby-like features you retain into adulthood largely depends on your ethnicity. And this takes us back to Asian people, specifically East Asian people, because compared to other groups, they tend to have, on average, the highest retention of childlike features. This is called neoteny, where you may still look 14 even though you're actually 30. Okay, hold up. I suppose this may be getting awkward for some of you, especially for those who have an inclination towards Asians. But it's actually not so weird. Studies have shown that, at least for men, there is a clear preference or attraction towards neotenized faces. And this is regardless of ethnicity. Men of all types were more likely to find neonate features attractive. And since Asian people were more likely to have these features, it's only natural that a high percentage of these men were also drawn to Asian people. So in many of these cases, what looked like Asian fever may have just been cuteness fever. And this is regardless of the person's actual age. According to these studies, neotenous faces were perceived as having higher sociability and femininity, whereas those low in neoteny were more intimidating. Okay, but why is this the case? Why are East Asians more neotenous? Well, about 30,000 years ago, there was a crucial juncture in the evolution of Asians. There was a gene mutation that resulted in several distinctive traits that made East Asians different from other populations. Thicker hair shafts, reduced chin protrusion, smaller breasts, changes in the morphology of ears and teeth, many of these traits making an individual look younger than they actually are. As time went on, changes in cranial morphology followed. Slightly larger heads, flatter faces, more pronounced cheekbones, reduced sexual dimorphism, which means males started to resemble females a little more. Basically, an all-round high retention of juvenile characteristics. Now, depending on your preferences, which relate to your background, your culture, your thoughts may differ on the attractiveness of the aforementioned. In Western society, the desirability of these traits is not exactly something that's encouraged when it comes to physical attraction, but in East Asia, it's pretty normal, and has been the case for a very long time. In fact, it's said sexual selection likely played a major role in bringing these traits to the forefront. As mentioned previously, there is an innate attraction that males in general have towards neotenous features, regardless of culture. But in East Asian society, this is heightened. With more males selecting cute female partners, over time these traits became more and more widespread. In this sense, neoteny in Asian males is really the resulting byproduct of sexual selection. Another point